Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Douglas Planning Board meeting for March 27th, 2018. The meeting is being recorded and is available for viewing on the Douglas Public Access Channel and on the Douglas website. We'll come to order at 7:03. First item on the agenda, an A&R plan, John Coker, 18 Caswell Court.
Have some these copies for everybody.
How many do you have?
I got like 7.
Okay, I got one in the
Oh, okay.
Selling material.
Is this revised at all? Last one?
There is a shed there that we didn't pick up the first time.
Right now, it's just
Is there a revision date on here?
Yeah, it's
3/26?
3.6, yep.
Oh, this is the same one we have. Except for it's not colored.
Oops. How about that?
Oh, colorful.
Just give your name and address, Brian. Just for the-
Yep. Good evening, my name is Byron Andrews. With Andrews Survey and Engineering, we're representing John Coker tonight. Mr. Coker has his property on Caswell Court, right next to Newport Drive, an existing house on it. He's seeking to cut out a conforming lot around the house, and the rest of the land would be a separate buildable lot.
Where's the frontage coming from?
The frontage is on Caswell Court.
Caswell
That's
Court.
120 feet right there.
It also has
Oh.
frontage on Newport also, though?
It does, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, it doesn't.
It
Oh,
doesn't?
that's right, there is a strip here that belongs to the next lot.
Okay, there's a...
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Very good, okay.
There's also a stone wall that
Yeah.
they probably want to reach.
Make the square footage maybe.
Okay. Bill, any concerns?
No,
questions?
I had some comments. Byron addressed them all, so it looks good to go. Pretty straightforward.
All right, board, any questions, comments?
Looks real, looks very straightforward.
Taxes are all paid?
Yes.
Make a motion to endorse the A&R plan for 18 Caswell Court.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Tracy, seconded by Mike Z. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. You're all
Do
set?
you have the Mylar?
Yeah, I have,
Can I just grab it to sign it
Leave it early, but how early?
before the next hearing?
Oh, man.
Okay.
I just came for this.
Yeah, are you staying or you
I'm
leaving?
Had enough.
And Byron promises for future
Let's make a-
A&Rs, he's gonna put the signature block in the lower
in the
right-hand
lower
corner.
right-hand corner? Okay, yep, we can do that.
Lower right-hand corner?
Right, we talked about setting that
Is
up.
this the new size we're going to?
Just the Mylar.
Yeah, that's the Mylar. We have a nine.
Have more on here, if that's what we tried.
Byron, I can do those. Never rolled.
It's 327, right?
Starting to lose its mojo. Does it work?
Here's a new one.
It works, but it's last line.
No, that one worse, Ken? Here.
Nope.
Try one more.
No, that one away if it doesn't work.
Well, there's only,
Oh, there's only, yeah? Okay.
that one's working good, Ken?
Yeah, that one's working well.
Chuck the other ones, if they're not working,
Don't
get
have to
rid
sign
You
of
want to stamp?
That one was, question, yeah.
Good thing, Mike.
You already signed it, right, Mike?
Mike already signed it?
He's just writing in line again.
I'm just trying to stay out of my hand.
Small room.
Anybody else have to?
I gotta do it.
Yep. All yours, baby.
There is some more Mylar pens here.
I didn't know that.
You only need 4 paper copies, it looks like there's more.
Yeah, I think there's 6.
I don't know if you need anything from me, I say it, but I mean it.
Make sure you know.
If you want to cry on me, you can do that too. I usually put some tissues right here.
Okay, everybody signed?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got how many on there? Oh, well.
Yeah.
Everybody signed that?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
I think it's because it's on the other paper underneath. You've got to put it flat.
Flat surface.
Put it on the table.
They do flushes, they do flushes and things, the prostate flush.
This must be you, right?
How come? William, how you doing?
Steps over there, I thought.
Hopefully. I'm
What you looking for?
It's one way, but
What you looking for? Your
Where
stamp?
all this paper came from?
Oh, it's double.
No. I mean,
You sign it by pen and you want your stamp?
I don't need, I
We
don't
only
have
need
to
four.
date them anyway, so I'll just sign up. I'll put it at the end of the meeting.
might as well have them for your file.
Right, yeah. One in the folder and one in the flat file.
anyway, I think some of this stuff under there is yours, Ken.
Mylars.
I'll show you a picture, Bill. Oh, you guys should see that. So Nick had a few of his buddies out this weekend to help out.
What were they?
That's a big ass crowd.
Just drinking.
No, they were. He had 13
Really?
guys in the orchard. I had 5 guys working for me. Another guy had 5
Yeah.
working for
What
him.
were they doing?
A whole bunch of projects. Over 13 of them were in the orchard.
Should've been
They
counting.
pruned that 40 trees in one day. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then the pledges. Yeah.
I'll give it one quick.
Alumni.
Yeah, I'll sign it at the end.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that was
We
true.
can keep going.
There were a couple last time.
That's just for us anyway.
I can stamp it too.
I didn't sign them yet.
Oh, you didn't?
No, you
No,
can't.
and I didn't
No,
stamp
I'm just
them
gonna
either,
give
Bill.
2 to,
All right.
Yeah.
Could this be yours?
you got 4?
Probably.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna stack over here. Each one of you.
Nice, feel free to use the minutes without me.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
All right, we have to wait till 7:15 for our next public, so Bill, anything you want to take quick, Wayne,
No preference. We could do number 1
number 1 in discussion?
first, yeah.
All right, notice for intent to sell.
In your packet, you got a letter from the law office of Corey Lee with regard to property on Orange Street, Chase property. You might recall we had an A&R not too long ago.
Right.
And this is actually both lots, pertains to both lots.
What does this mean?
We already voted on this, right?
Well, yeah, I'd need a vote from you to not
Number 1 and number 2.
not recommend our acting on our right of first refusal, if that's what you think.
This is just for number 1 and number 2.
It looks like it's lot 2 only.
Oh, lot 2 only. What's happening with lot number 1? Previous A&R?
There were 2 A&Rs. I don't know that they've done anything on lot 1 yet.
Okay.
How many acres is this one?
4.4.
I will, are you ready?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to not act on our first right of refusal for Chase Road lot number 2.
Second that. Go ahead, Mike, you got it.
Okay, motion's made by Tracy, seconded by the other Mike.
Mike number 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Everything's okay with you, Bill? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Abstained, motion
You
carries.
guys have it.
Okay.
Now, they have they mentioned the 10 acres. Was that somewhere? I thought it was 5. No, the attorney's saying the premises must be taken out of chapter 61 as the acreage fails to meet the minimum program requirement of 10 plus acres.
I thought it was 5 acres.
Yeah, it's 5 plus
Yeah.
for exemption for agriculture. I don't.
Yeah, 5 is that.
That's my understanding.
Yeah.
Okay,
10 is forestry.
then maybe it's forestry.
10 is forestry.
61B. Classified forest tax.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Forestry is 10 acres.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, ag is 5.
okay. I just saw that.
Yep.
That's
Have
recreation
the
and conservation.
selectmen acted on that yet,
versus
Bill?
No, they're waiting for
making money
feedback from everybody.
That's the 5, that's agriculture.
Okay.
5 is just regular ag. 10, you need to have a forestry plan.
So there's there's A and B.
Yeah.
We got about 3 minutes.
Talk quickly about Deer Crossing?
Sure.
Okay, I got a letter here from Deer Crossing,
As a start, Deer
specific to
Crossing. Dear John, Deer Crossing.
Woodland Road. There's a few monuments located along the right-of-way that typically are 4-foot concrete bounds that are set in lawn areas or adjacent to the turns in the right-of-way. They have encountered a few locations where they've hit obstructions like ledge. So they're asking for relief from putting the concrete monuments at those locations, and they'll set either an iron pin or some other method to designate that as a boundary.
Okay.
Do we need to designate what's gonna go in, or would that be determined upon? What do you prefer?
I've seen them put,
I think, I would leave it up to the surveyor. If it's in a driveway, for example, they might put a pin or a railroad spike.
Yeah.
If it's in a lawn area and they can't go the depth of a concrete bound, they might put an iron pin. So I would leave it up to their discretion, whatever professional means that is suitable. But they should mark them.
I would avoid the drill holes and large boulders at all costs.
Because they can get broken up.
They disappear all the time. I don't know why we would be using those. They attached a sheet, right?
They did 2 sheets if you want to see them.
Did they say if they were doing the drill holes anywhere, or did they just put the marking?
They have a drill hole set in Boulder at station 1850.
So they already did this.
They did this.
A DH.
They have a drill hole set in Boulder, 1.2 feet down. They have a PK nail in the pavement at the intersection. They have an iron pin set, station 2750. They have that's typical. So,
This
looks
is
like-
an after the fact request.
well, I mean, clearly the crew went out there and did what they do, and they're letting us know, and now they're letting us know so that we can say whether or not that's acceptable. So purely technically, they don't meet the approved plan.
Yeah.
well, how many exceptions are there out of how many? Well, there's not many, there's like 5 or 6
1, 2,
exceptions.
3, 4, 5 locations.
5 out of a dozen? 15.
26 roughly.
So 5 out
Instead of
26.
the large,
Correct.
they couldn't put 26 in, you're telling me.
Correct. So for example, this one's .4 feet down, they hit a boulder, so they set a drill hole in the boulder.
I mean, there's some effort, but you can put a pin.
And these will be called for on a plan that gets recorded ultimately at the registry. So, you know, a subsequent surveyor will have record of this and will know what to look for.
I mean, you could,
I don't have a problem.
How many granite markers do they put in?
As I said, there's
19, 20.
No, granite ones that they were supposed
Oh,
to put in.
not granite, they put in concrete.
Concrete.
Yeah. There's a total of 26 that they show on this plan,
Yeah,
and 5 of those locations are not the concrete ones.
okay. I thought you said 25.
25, 26, roughly.
Only 5 are needles or
The other 20,
PKs
the other 20 or
Okay.
21 are
Right up what they're supposed to be.
concrete
Okay.
line.
Yeah, I mean, I don't,
I mean, the other way to do it is they take a pin into the drill hole, put a pin in it, hydraulic cement it in, and then you take one of these concrete ones, drill out the core, and put it down a hydraulic, and you can use the concrete. That's the way to do it. You can't move it once it's got hydraulic cement.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be the classy way to do it, but,
there's a lot of them there they can go off with though, depending on.
so 4 or 5. they can
It's
do that.
already done. They didn't really ask us or tell us before.
Still modify that and still drill back into a concrete, I'm just throwing an idea.
Yeah, they're more or less asking, do you want more than what they've done already?
Right. We
Yeah.
could say that, if we want them to do the
Acceptable to me
concrete,
that
they can do it.
they've done 21 that are
Yeah.
concrete.
I mean, I
Not in the
think,
middle of the woods,
At this
too.
point, it's,
Right.
No, I've tried to find drill holes.
What it is they're asking for
Yeah.
forgiveness after the fact. They figure it's easier.
I don't see it that way.
I don't either. I don't see it that way.
I'm sure they had the materials that they needed to do it, but when they went to set it, they encountered an obstruction. So they did what the industry standard is,
Right.
and there's nothing wrong with it.
No.
I mean, this happens all the time.
You need a vote over on this?
No,
or-
no, I just
I
want,
have no problems with it.
Yeah, it's
I mean, it's marked out.
I don't view this as a deviation.
No. I see no,
All right, let's go to our public hearing.
all right.
All right, public hearing, Guaranteed Builders and Developers, Inc., application for an earth removal special permit, number ER-180312 on 37 Glen Street. In accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 40A, and the Town of Douglas Earth Removal Zoning Bylaw, the Planning Board will hold a public hearing on the application of owner applicant Guaranteed Builders and Developers, Inc., 14 West Street, Douglas, Mass., for an earth removal special permit for property located at 37 Glen Street, Douglas, Mass. Assessors map and parcel 188/8 and 188/8.1. As shown on a plan entitled Earth Removal Plan for Guaranteed Builders and Developers, Inc. Assessors map 188, parcel 8. Subdivision lots 1B and 2B, 35 Glen Street, Douglas, Mass. By Northwest Engineering LLC, 14 West Street, East Douglas, Mass. Dated 8/8/07, consisting of 1.5 acres. The public hearing will be held on Tuesday, March 27th, 2018 at 7:15 PM in the Municipal Center Community Meeting Room, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. Copy of the submittal is available for viewing in the Municipal Center Building Community Development Department, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. during regular business hours. Any person interested or wishing to be heard on this matter should appear at the time and place designated. Ernest Marks, Chairman, Douglas Planning Board. Public hearing is now open, 7:20.
Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna recuse myself.
Let the record show that
Have a good
Tracy
night,
is
everybody.
recusing herself.
yeah, see you, Tracy.
See ya.
See you later.
At 7:20. And also let the record show that Les Stevens is absent from the meeting.
Bill Titus, representing the owner, Guaranteed Builders. This plan was originally approved by the sitting board back in 2007. And at that particular time, we weren't ready to build on the houses as required to remove the earth removal. And that's more in that position as time has gone on. We're asking for this board for the approval with the same conditions that were applied in 2007 by the sitting board at that time. As you can see, The earth removal would be more on this side, and there is some replication on the right-hand side to the rear of the property. Nothing has changed, and we're, as I said before, we're just looking for the same conditions that were applied for at that time and approved.
Different than us. Is that a new date?
What's the date on
So
here?
that's the old one. Is that now?
This came in today.
With the date?
Yes.
Okay. We're looking at yours. Fine.
It's a,
That's good.
That's different.
Right, that's.
back area, yeah.
Hey, Bill?
Yeah, I had prepared a letter and it had a number of comments. What I'd like to do is maybe take these one at a time, if okay?
Yes, but
Okay. The first comment that I have is a question. I know we typically, when there's a waiver requested, we typically get, for setbacks from property lines, we get letters from the adjacent property owner. We did get one from the Water and Sewer Department, which is the abutter to the south, and they're grading within 100 feet of that property line.
Right.
They're also grading within 100 feet of the property abutter to the west, which is GU. So I'm wondering if you have a letter from the GUs?
We have all of everything that we have there.
Okay, we have not, as of this afternoon, received a letter from the abutter GU.
we'll need that.
Yeah, we have the old one, excuse me. See, the conflict here, excuse me, Louis Tizzino, the conflict here is this. I say I renewed it, Bill say I didn't. So I said to Bill, hey, listen, we'll do it your way, we'll do this, but I know it was renewed. We never used the pit. It's the same plan, same stuff. If it's anybody's fault, it's my fault. If it's proven that it's Bill's fault, then it's gonna be Bill's fault. That's up to his powers to be over him, not me.
Okay.
But I know I renewed it, because he called me, and he said, hey, you know, this thing's running out. But he don't recall that, okay? Now, as far as Gio's letter go, we have that, and the town already has a copy of that from the last time we did it. So what would change? What would change? Nothing.
Were you able to find a copy of that?
We don't have a copy of the letter from GU. What we have is a copy of a letter from Mr. Pybus mailed out to the abutters saying that if they have an objection, to let them know.
Okay. Well,
But it's the same plan, same thing.
so we never did get a letter.
No. If they have a letter, you know, by all means, produce it, and we'll put it in the file.
Yeah, it's gotta be someplace.
You never heard back from them? All right, well, we'll need a letter from, a copy of it anyway.
Okay?
Okay, yeah, there we go.
I don't know if Maria made copies of this, or if Bill perhaps brought copies of their responses to my letter. This was submitted this afternoon. Would you like me to make copies of this for everyone?
Yeah, would you like?
Okay, I'll be right back.
Isn't that this thing? I think I got it.
So these, isn't this it?
It's,
That's his
yeah, March
request going out.
27th, yes.
It's in the
Yeah,
package.
response
It's there.
to-
It's dated March 27th.
Yeah, it has Bill's name at the top. That's what it comes.
That's it, that's the 22nd. Oh, you got one?
Wait, no, no,
In the
no,
folder,
that's
it was the last
that's
thing.
from GBIDU,
Yeah,
That might be that.
their response.
correct.
Is that,
All right.
that it?
Because your item number one is not your item number one.
Okay, just for reference, Bill, could you point out to the board the stepped retaining wall?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a Yeah, no, it's further south, Bill.
This one down here,
Yes.
it's not on that, I don't see it on the
It's a stepped retaining wall. You'll see a detail, I think, on the plan in the lower right corner that kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. It's a cross-section that shows a 4-foot-high stepped retaining wall, and
front. See it right here? On this one?
yeah, there's 10 tiers to this retaining wall, and they vary in length from 80 to roughly 100 feet. So, my comment on that is, yeah, that's steeper than the max allowable slope, but they are requesting a waiver from the max allowable slope. But I want to be clear that, you know, if for some reason we have to go out and finish the project, we are responsible to build that wall. And accordingly, we would have to post, or have surety posted to cover the cost of that construction. Because it's shown on the plan as part of the earth removal.
Yeah, all right, so we'll need surety.
Correct. So I just want to make that clear.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just going through the ones, they've addressed many of these, so I'm
Okay.
just going to skip the ones they've addressed.
Okay.
In the area where they are grading close to the town's boundary line, I am suggesting that when they do the work, that they actually put up either a snow fence or some kind of barrier so that we have a physical boundary to the property line there. Only because they're showing grading literally right up to the property line.
Okay.
That's where the slope starts.
Yeah. Agreeable?
Okay, there's one test pit, and this is one of their waiver requests. Has grading that is shown to be less than 10 feet from high groundwater. So if you look at the entire site, here's the retaining wall. Here's Glen Street.
Yeah.
The test pit that has the grading issue is right here, so
You know what?
typically our regulation requires 10 feet, test pit, need a bigger plan.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Right there.
Yes, you can hand it over. You're talking about the one, I know which one you mean, the one right here in the center, right?
Yes, and that's the old, Mike, that's the old plan too.
Okay. What TP number?
Are you attempting to
Test
put
pit
that down here?
One, I believe.
TP one? Oh, it's 531?
TP1. Yeah, so after they excavate, so there's two main areas of excavation. You got the back of the site, which has the stepped retaining wall, and then the front of the site, which has the main driveway to get into the site.
Right.
The front of the site's taking grades down from roughly 536 to 506, roughly.
You can't read, you can't read.
507.
Okay.
You got 507 on there.
And
Is that Glen Street?
in that isolated area, they're coming
There somewhere, right?
below the 10-foot to high groundwater, okay?
Okay.
And my question is,
I don't know.
can they comply with that requirement? I mean, what's the need? Is it a matter of having an unsafe grade coming to Glen Street that requires them to cut a little deeper? Or what's the reason that they can't meet the requirement?
Because on
I
this,
believe that was the reason.
groundwater's at 514, they're going to 507, right? Groundwater, finish. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's 7 feet,
Yeah,
so it's less than 10.
yeah,
They need 10.
10.
Yeah. But you do have room to make up the grades. This is in a relatively flat area of road.
I believe that we can do that.
Get it up to 10?
Yeah.
Which one is that on the, which test pit is that, Bill, that you have numbered?
That's test pit number 1.
Number 1. okay.
They're supposed to be 10 above groundwater, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're below groundwater. So there's something below it. So they have to come up more than that. See, here you are, you're at 511, 499, that's 10.
Yeah.
This is 514, 507 is finished, so they're lower than.
You're right.
It's opposite.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just got this in.
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm looking at it, I'm hearing what you're saying, but they're opposite. It's flipped.
Yeah.
So you're looking at, what, 20 feet almost?
So
Or 17 feet in grade change.
they'll have to take a look at it.
Yeah.
One way or another.
Yeah.
They'll look at it.
All right, so I was just trying to read it.
Good catch, Mike.
507 and 514.
Yeah, it's the flip, it's the opposite way.
Groundwater's in the 90s and then it jumps up.
Yeah, the rest of them are fine.
Which one is below?
TP1.
Yeah, TP1.
The reading is wrong, it's 541 and 514.
No, that could be on a different one. See the one I'm on, yeah? The one dated the 27th?
The test pit 2,
have that
groundwater,
one.
it's 20 feet higher there than groundwater?
I'm not sure.
What's the first page?
I'm not sure.
514, it's kind of weird.
I'm just basing it on their waiver request.
Yeah.
That's what the first page was.
That might not be right.
It's William Conduct.
I think that's a misprint.
I think so too.
Yeah, I know, but-
20 feet
So
difference.
my table, if you look at a different
Unless you
table.
have a pocket,
going.
something and
Possibly.
Oh, it's a different
There's no
table.
sand there, there's no pockets, and everything just goes right down.
someone spit in the ground. It just doesn't seem right.
Because the first one doesn't have finished grade, the second one does.
I still got 531 to 514. Yours does it? I'll
Yeah.
take your word for
The
it.
bottom line is they're gonna look at it, and, you know, we'll clean that up for the next meeting.
Go back there, Mike, where you were. This is where you're gonna look at. See the finished grade? Level 7? See the groundwater? 514.
So this means, Bill, like they're taking like 24 feet.
That might not be accurate, there might be an error. So,
Could he have reversed the numbers?
could have been, you know, we
Don't know, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
the way it's written,
Right, you're right.
you're looking at a 17-foot.
Yeah, but that don't sound right.
No,
No.
not compared to the rest of your numbers.
And just looking at the
There's a
map.
20-foot difference in the water table.
So in addition to that, we typically get a detail showing the cross-section of the restoration that's gonna occur, so basically a loam and seed detail. And I know because some of these areas of side slope are steeper, we typically include, they're proposing some Excelsior matting, so we need to see that in the detail as well. In addition to that, we typically get signage details showing where trucks turning, that kind of signage will be placed.
Yeah, where they're coming in and out and normally require a riprap.
Yep, we're showing that, Mike.
Okay, on this print?
Yep.
Yes, okay.
Yep.
This
Oh,
one-
maybe not
yeah,
yours,
not
sorry.
on this one, that's
Right.
why. That's, all right, yep, no problem.
We've added the notes that were asked for. And then the last one has to do with the surety amount, again.
Yeah.
They have been requesting, and I don't know if I have a copy of it here. They have a waiver request letter, and as part of that, they're asking that the surety value for the project be established at $14,000.
Yep. That's what they're asking.
Now, I'm not sure if it's just the way they worded it, but in the past, we've allowed $14,000 per acre
I see what you're saying there. yeah.
instead of just $14,000. And then we have the issue of this retaining wall
Right, right.
that would be of concern, so. And typically, the $14,000 an acre is just loam and seed, it's not any matting or fabric or that kind of thing.
Yeah, correct. Well, definitely we'll have to come up with surety for whatever that retaining wall, you can get the, crunch the numbers on that.
Yeah.
That's gonna,
Excuse me, see, I believe I still have a permit. Now, Bill here says no, but if you ask Bill, he still has my money. So I think that was the deal. I mean, they still have my money. They didn't give me back no money. So as far as I'm concerned, my thing is still enforced.
your surety you're talking about?
Yeah, because they never gave me back my money.
Okay.
And I know, me and Bill were talking, and he says, you leave your money and you do it, you know, and that's what I did.
Okay.
That's why we never took our money back. Now, Bill, you can explain that.
Yeah, I'm happy to explain it. Typically, what we do is we receive a letter from the applicant requesting the funds be returned, and then we act on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't received any letter?
No.
And the surety has been posted already?
All the time.
The
It's been posted all
review and
these years.
inspection money has been, the surety
Oh,
has not.
there is no surety?
Correct.
Okay, so he's in the, yeah, all right, I forget the number of that account, but,
Right.
Yeah.
53G and 53E we
yeah,
have.
right, 53G and E, okay, that money's in there, okay, so that money is still there.
It's still there,
All right, but we're talking surety now as far as
the wall.
the wall
But the
and,
wall was there before, and nobody ever charged me surety.
We didn't get to that point. Typically, we would
You
require.
approved it though,
right,
didn't you, Bill?
Right, I didn't approve it, the board did.
Okay, the board approved it.
Yeah.
And they didn't say nothing. Now, I'm not upset about it, we gotta do what we gotta do, right?
Yep.
But the point is here, okay, it was already approved. Now, nothing changed on the plan, nothing,
yeah,
okay? So I wanna know, I mean, unless some bylaws change, unless something, you know, changed within the town or the state, but nothing changed. So I'd just like to know why, all of a sudden, we get this. Not that I'm against it, but I think I should be explained it. Unless the people who gave it to me didn't know what the hell they were doing. So, explain it to me.
all right, well,
This all took place when, in '07?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know I wasn't here.
Hey, there you go.
How about that? I don't know, I know that.
myself, Eben, Bob probably,
I can't.
I'd have to look to see.
It's a
Bill was
deal.
here. Bill was here.
I mean, like anything over time, and I understand what you're saying, but things have changed because of the town, I think, getting burnt once in a while. Not saying you
No,
are.
no, I'm not against it.
And now on the surety, what it is we're doing it to protect the town, which, that's why we're here.
Yep.
And the thing is if it's done, it's simple, you get it all back.
Yeah, no, I'm not against it.
And every now and then, though, as we all know, it doesn't get done.
Excuse me, may I make one statement?
And that's the only reason why that we kind
The
of.
last time I bonded something, it took Bill 20 years to give it back to me. Him and Steve Ziss. 20 years I waited for my money. So don't tell me about these guys.
I might be on the board.
20 years, Ernie, you know that.
All right, let's
20
get this.
years, they said to me, well, they got a problem up here. I said, that's 20 years old. Yeah, but we got a bank book, and if you fix it, we'll give you a bank book. Now, they never told me they had a bank book, okay?
How
So,
many years ago was that?
huh? That was 3 years ago. So him and Steve just conned me to go up there and fix it, so they give me my bank book for $20.
Now, Lou, come on.
Okay?
You
I
get a
got
little
conned.
carried away.
Yeah, it
I think-
wouldn't have been on Bill anyway, it would have been on this board to act on
Yeah,
that.
that's okay,
It has
that's
nothing to do with
okay.
Bill.
No.
Bill just
You're 100%
presents it
right.
to the
He gives
board,
us
so it's on us, not
Question and
Bill.
we decide.
Right, but nobody ever released my 20 grand. Not that I asked for it.
Right, well, you have to ask for it to
Oh,
release
yeah,
it.
okay.
Otherwise, we'll keep it forever.
Yeah, right, there you go. Lucky it was a bank book, it would have really disappeared.
But yeah, that would have been on us, not Bill at all.
Okay.
We're the ones that act on that, not Bill.
Right,
We're the one that say yea or nay.
We'll try to be a little quicker with this money, though.
okay, anything
You
you
ask for it,
say.
we'll get it back to you after the work is completed for sure.
As soon as you ask for it.
I think there's just
but, all
a
right,
few things
so
to
we'll-
clean up. Right, that they need to clean up on, some numbers?
Yeah, I went through with the engineer today, my
Yeah.
comments, and so
Yeah.
she has them.
Okay, so the biggest thing is the surety, so that we they're asking to put up 14,000. It's an acre and a half that we're excavating from.
Well, I don't necessarily object to the concept of what they're saying.
Yeah.
But there's a few distinctions between this and what we've approved in the past.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
You know, the retaining walls, the
That's right.
matting,
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you can crunch.
They have a
numbers and-
crossing with a culvert pipe, you know.
So you can crunch some numbers in between now and the next meeting?
Well,
or
typically,
continue?
you know, we do that after the project's approved, and then I'll draft a decision.
Yeah.
And then that's the point in time that we talk about the value.
Okay. And if we're gonna crunch some, put them out for the surety before the
I mean,
project's approved.
the wall, I have no idea. I mean,
Yeah, okay. All right.
See if anybody in the audience has,
What's that?
somebody has something to add?
I can't hear you.
Somebody has something to add?
Butter?
On the butter?
Oh, you're one of the abutters? Yeah.
Yeah.
Your name and address.
I actually live in Northbridge, Mass.
Yeah,
But I grew up in Douglas on Glen Street,
yeah.
and I'm friends with Keith Bemis on 31 Glen Street, and he can't be here tonight, he's in the hospital, and I'm aware that he has a pond behind his house, it's all runoff water, and I was concerned about it being dried out if the land gets taken out of there. And then the property next door is my father at 36 Glen Street, he also has a pond, concerned about, you know, the conditions, if the sand is taken out of there, if the pond will dry out, and there's a stream next door too, so just kind of worried about that. So,
Okay.
Conservation.
I didn't know that.
When we approve an application like this for, all the studies for water management and everything are done at that time, and there shouldn't, if everything's done right, there shouldn't be any difference in any flow of water or
Okay.
any effect of the ponds or the stream.
okay, so that's, you guys look into that, obviously.
Yeah, Conservation will take the biggest look at it, but we get a set of plans
Okay.
that reflects everything that's being done
I
as
know,
far
like,
as.
so he said the water supply is right there, and the solar panels in the back, so.
Right, right.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's some certain safeties that are built into the bylaw itself with, like I was talking about the vertical separation
Right.
around water and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
because my father was saying it's supposed to be like an angle to the hill if he takes it out, or you guys take it out?
Right.
Yeah, there's slopes that they have.
That
Yeah.
slope, you know, and I mentioned this to the engineer, but I'll mention it tonight. You know, my preference would be to not have that retaining wall. So I don't know if they could come into an agreement with the water and sewer department, maybe grade with a grading easement onto that parcel, or conversely, kick out the slope or raise the base elevation, just to soften that slope out. I mean, 1.5 to 1 with that retaining wall is just,
How high is the
I
retaining
can't
wall?
understand how that would be.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, excuse me, but what they want to do is make another driveway coming down there, because they got the pipes and everything. So they want me to give them a piece of land and make a driveway or something, but the water company's involved with that. When, you know, that's what they want to do. When anything they want to do, we would do the help, okay?
I mean, that could be a good match, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So what do you need out of us tonight?
It's the board's pleasure.
But hasn't this already been approved? No? That one?
We haven't got any record of it being renewed, so the application.
right.
It's expired.
All right,
So the original permit has been
It
expired.
was expired, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see where we're
But it's
going
not
with that.
would you consider that it's not substantially different than what was proposed before? Other than the surety type on the walls and such like that, for the retaining walls?
Well, yeah, I think we don't have a letter from the abutter, GU,
Yeah,
to grant that waiver, which is our standing policy.
yeah. Just like we had on the previous
So you can make that a
excavations.
condition, I mean, whatever you want to do.
He has to produce the letter, I mean, but as a condition, you know?
That could be a condition, nothing can happen until the letter is received,
Right.
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
But if it's not substantially different and surety is agreed to based on what Bill's numbers are, I mean, don't we try and move this forward if this was the pleasure of the board before, if there's not substantive changes to this?
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever the board feels is, if you think.
So, Bill, do you have the waivers? why don't we take a discussion on the waivers and then, see how we end up on those?
Are they different
They
from
hear
the
right
last waivers, or is there something new?
Oh, did he respond to the waivers here? I don't see waivers here.
Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I see 4.
Where do you see the waivers, Ernie?
Yeah, I don't, there's a comment about them being renumbered, but
Oh, on the back, is that where they are? Yeah. We have it, Bill.
Are they there?
Yeah, request a waivers, there it is.
Okay.
It's the last sheet on your, in your packet.
This is the response.
So, let's take these one at a time.
Yep.
616, number 3, Bill.
It says here, Joyce, for you.
Right.
You see the letter.
Well, they say that, but they have not provided that.
No, but he says the applicant intends to receive the letters from the Douglas Water Department and Joyce to you.
Okay. What's
No,
your
he hasn't-
point?
No, he's not produced it, but at least it's acknowledged that it
Yeah.
needs to come forward.
Okay. We don't have one in the file from the last one.
Right, we need to see it.
So you want to,
Yeah, let's go.
do we want to discuss the bill? Do you want one?
So we do have a letter from the water department, we don't have one from Joyce Key.
Correct.
And we will leave it.
It was on the last page.
So, for that waiver to be granted, we'll need a letter.
Yours property, right?
And what happens if she doesn't produce it?
What's that?
What happens if she doesn't respond?
what about test pits and stuff? What?
No, what happens if she doesn't?
You could either grant the waiver or not grant the waiver. That's up to the board.
Yeah, I think that she will respond. We bought the land from her. This was her place.
Make one more attempt to,
Yeah, she'll be okay. You know Joyce.
Okay, 616, number 4, excavation not intended for approved building purposes or any other activity or building shall not be within 100 feet of a wetland as defined under Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Town of Douglas Wetland Protection Bylaw, or the 100-year flood elevation of any water body, except where the appropriate regulatory agency has specifically ordered such excavation as part of a compensatory storage plan. Excavate, and their comment is, excavation shown on the plans within 100 feet of a wetland shall be incidental to planned residential development. Approved septic designs on record with the Board of Health. So, as I explained to their engineer, I think the point of this, we're not interested in their planned use with a building.
yes.
If they were exempt for approved building purposes, they wouldn't have to request a waiver, okay? So, they're not exempt from that. I'm not opposed to the request, however, if the board agrees that the determination should be left up to the Conservation Commission if they can excavate within 100 feet of a wetland.
Right, that's not our, we don't have the
It's in
authority
the
to do that.
regs, it's in the bylaw,
Right.
so, I'm
We
not...
don't have the authority to grant that, right?
Right. So, then section 616, number 6, no excavation shall be made at less than 10 feet above the annual high water table as established from test pits and soil borings. Observation wells shall be monitored to verify this elevation. The board has the right to adjust the depth of the excavation based upon well monitoring information. The information shall be shown on the topographic plan, and a permanent monument shall be erected upon the property. And then the request is test pit number 1 will be within 10 feet of the high groundwater to allow for driveway construction to new house site. Waiver requested to have separation at test pit 1 to 7 feet for grading and slope purposes.
I got no problem with it as long as the digits are correct on the print and not on what's printed on the paper.
So you're okay with less than 10 feet?
I'm okay with 7. 7 feet, no less.
And it's
You got one,
one only,
spot.
right? It's a problem. That one's asked backwards anyway.
This is just for the driveway area, right?
Yeah, it's part of the excavation. I mean,
Yeah.
the point, my point is, the driveway could be raised 3 feet without a lot of impact to the grading of the site, particularly at that location, because the driveway's relatively flat in both directions. It's not like it's on a steep incline.
I don't like going,
You know,
You know what?
I don't like going below 10 feet.
if there was a safety issue, you know, they needed to meet the grade so that trucks weren't going into Glen Street because they can't stop, or if there was logic like that
Yeah.
to support the request, I wouldn't object to it.
I don't see any reason why you should have to go below 10 feet.
The applicant's okay with the 10-foot, agreeing to that? For us to consider this?
They would have to withdraw their waiver request.
Right. Can they do that?
Stay within 10 feet of the high ground.
So that one would be denied.
That's that one right there.
Unless it's agreed upon by the applicant to withdraw the waiver.
They could withdraw it, or we could deny it. Either way.
Right.
Before we withdraw it, we'd like to check with the engineer, just to check the
Sure.
figures.
And that was my first question to the engineer was, you know, what's the reason? Is there a reason to substantiate the waiver request?
Right. Did the engineer respond?
No.
No? Yeah, my opinion, we need a good reason to go below 10 feet. Otherwise, it's not a good idea.
All right. 617, number 2, no slope shall be steeper than 2 to 1, 4 to 1 if preferred for erosion control, and shall be required in sensitive areas. Waiver requested for the areas on the plan that are 1.5 to 1. My comment to the engineer was, again, what's the logic, what's the reasoning? Is there an alternative? Can the base elevation be raised? Can the slope be shallowed out to meet the requirement?
Right.
Can an easement be attained from the abutter? All of those things, I think, should be considered, and if none of those things work, maybe the board would consider it then. But you could, I mean, it's the board, you make your decision, I'm just giving you my thoughts.
If we don't have the engineer here to express the reason why they're asking for it, I can't act on it.
Right.
I gotta know why.
Okay.
Unless they decide to withdraw the waiver, but if they can't,
Yeah.
without their engineer, then,
Yeah.
because we're,
Okay.
and that's it for the,
That's it for the waivers.
Well, along those lines, you know, the letter continued talking about the surety.
Yeah.
I want to clarify that that was not just a cap at 14 grand, it's 14 grand per acre that was approved previously.
Yeah.
And it was under a little different circumstances.
11 years ago, too.
No, not for this project. This was a different project. That was a pine project recently.
Oh, using
That
the
was
numbers for that.
14
per acre.
grand an acre.
Yep.
Okay.
So-
And then the next line, I mean, is contradictory to the above line because it's request to exclude restoration for,
Restoration. for-
I mean, if they're requesting 14,000 lump sum, they don't need to,
Right.
you know what I
We
mean?
need, yeah, I mean, we need that surety that if the project fails, we can reclaim the whole, not, so the house, the area for the house and stuff has to be included in that surety.
You gotta tell us what you want, gentlemen, and
Yeah.
we'll just do it. I mean, that's what's gotta be done. I'm hoping the water company buys it.
That would,
Hey, hey,
that would solve a lot of problems, yeah.
but they got no money.
They got water, though.
I know. They wanna make me a partner.
So, one of the other things I noticed was, they should request a waiver, which they have not, that we've always encouraged the applicant to request, which is 614, number 6. And that's the amount and cost of proposed restoration materials and where the applicant intends to get them. It's either you provide the info or you request a waiver. It's not, you don't give it and don't request a waiver.
On number 18, yeah.
Is that comment refer to the next to last sentence there, they talk of, what's that all about, request to exclude restoration?
Well,
or-
yeah, again, I think that should have said 14,000 per acre, and then there's no houses as part of this project, you know. We certainly don't view it as a house project.
It's viewed as a earth removal project. So, give it to next meeting?
Yeah, I don't think we should close tonight. I think we should continue it for another meeting and get those questions cleared up and answered. I don't see any real big problems, but I think there's a few answers we have to have before we can close the public hearing and vote on it. And I'd like to be able to vote favorably, get the project going.
A few things to clean it up.
Yep.
Yeah, we should be clear what we want for each of these, I think.
Clear up the bill.
Just did.
Pardon?
Say what we want.
For each of the
Waivers?
waivers. that
Yeah,
we
well,
went over.
that's what we just went over.
Yeah.
You want, for the next meeting, Bill?
Couple little things.
Oh, we'll work, no problem.
You want to be on for the next meeting, or
When?
April 10th at
April
7?
10th? Does that give you enough time, or?
If it's not, we'll have to postpone it then.
All right, well, we'll continue it till April 10th then.
And
Is that good? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's good.
Is that good, Lou? Okay.
How many things we got there, Bill, that we have to straighten out?
Yeah, just a few
A handful.
things that,
Yeah, not many.
3, 4,
No, I went through them with Karen today. She understands.
She understands? Good, that's all. So we gotta get them things done, and hey, we'll get Drexler to do that. You want another depot? I think he screwed up those numbers.
You may have.
Yeah, I think he did.
take a second look at it.
yeah, that's the other thing, we gotta make sure the plans, the numbers are right on the plan, that's gotta be
Yeah,
corrected.
that don't sound right. How can it be
No,
that
that
way
doesn't
here
sound right.
and over there it's all right? No.
There's some digits wrong.
That
there
just don't
somewhere.
sound
Yeah,
right.
they're
you know?
10 foot to groundwater, the slope, right, no steeper than, it's, you know, look at that.
If there's logic behind it, then.
Yeah, yeah.
April 10th at 7?
What's your engineer with you, Chris?
What time, Bill?
We'll get that, everything
7.
we need.
7 o'clock, so,
So we need a motion to continue?
yeah.
Need a motion to continue the public hearing for Guaranteed Builders and Developers, Inc. for application for earth removal, special permit number ER 180312 to, what did it say, April
10th at
April
7.
10th at 7 PM.
Second.
Oh,
Okay, motion made by Mike C, second by Mike G. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. All right,
Be continued.
Very good, thank you.
thank you, Lou.
We're getting there.
Hey,
Thanks, Bill.
We're gonna put about 2 houses. 2 duplexes. Okay. We should.
I don't see these other things in here. I mean, I see our, here's a couple
Company's
for
trying to
variance,
raise
for
500,000.
zoning board, I don't see them in here.
They're not.
He had a US government.
Those are the ones that you can discuss.
Yeah.
What do I
That's
have?
why they're not in here.
What do I have? Oh, yeah, they're in this.
Oh, yeah, they're in here.
You don't, there's only, because
About the whole thing.
this is the original, so it has to be
Yeah, that's
all
why.
back
They want
together.
us to sign that one way or the
The Army
other.
Corps of Engineers, and remember how we showed them the other money? But that was when Evan worked for the Evan worked for the DEP at EPA or whatever, right? And he got me the check.
Let me find my agenda.
That's what we did. If not,
I think that was
next
it.
meeting, right? If
Did-
they
did
get
crossing.
on blanks.
You did,
then I'll
Chris.
just-
Yeah, we
we'll
did
just-
that.
1 and 2.
Right. And the rest of
I
ZBA.
can't believe that
Sign
10-foot
vouchers.
water thing down to something along there. Yeah, something.
None of which we have, right?
Here's a copy, here's another copy if you want it.
Yes, I got it, I found it.
Okay, found it?
Just separate my meeting minutes and stuff. Yes, the ZBA's always come in this, we look them over, then we put them back in the packet, and we go to the zoning board.
What I meant was we don't have vouchers, really.
In your minutes.
Oh, we have no vouchers to sign, no?
Well, we should comply.
got plenty of
It's not
minutes.
really that we can't comply with it.
I think it's easy to comply.
What's the big deal?
Spend a minute.
Okay, man.
Good night.
Hey, good night. Take it easy. Hey, thank you very much. Have a good night. Thank you,
Yeah, thanks, Lou.
Bill, we're getting too old for this. We're getting too old.
Sure are.
We're getting too old.
All this over here.
Thank you, Mike.
I still gotta stamp that.
Yeah, we did. Number one, we did number two. All right, there's no vouchers to sign, Bill?
If it's not in your packet, no.
Nope, okay. All right, we have 3 ZBA applications.
Yeah, give me one, give me the first one.
First one.
I'll
I
take it.
guess. I'll take one, there's only so many of us here.
Oh, by the way, that's gonna be a super majority vote. You know, so we need five favorable votes.
Yeah, okay.
What is?
For,
The
Special
first
permit.
rule, special permit needs a supermajority.
And Les wasn't here, so
Right, so either he reviews them,
He has one meeting, he can
Yeah.
review
it's
it.
just us 5.
Right, there's 5 of us here.
Correct.
I mean,
As long as they do
I
what
can
they're supposed to
vote if I have
do.
to. All right, who wants another ZBA?
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But-
Aaron does.
Oh, come on.
There's 3 of them, so somebody's gotta take them.
Let's 2 at the same address. Why are we, what's this about? One's a variance, one's a special permit.
Yep. One person should do both.
So why do I do Louis? I want to do Louis.
Yeah,
I
I'm on
put the
3
sign
Shore
in.
Road. Down Wallen Lake.
I got that one.
What's the special permit for? We want a variance and a special permit, I guess.
Because it could be both. It could be 2 things on the same property, right?
There's 3 different ones. 2 of them are variances, one's a special permit.
This is for a variance. Mine's for a variance.
One's Andrew and Ruth Parker, 42
what I
Shore
got.
Road. Is that the one you have, Mike?
Yeah, where they bought 2 lots.
Okay. And they're asking for a variance for what?
That's what, combined for project purchase, 85,000. Frontage area for, short approximately 21 feet frontage.
What's the address here?
They have 179.33 instead of 200.
Well, they need 200, right?
And it's short.
What, frontage, is that what it is, a variance of frontage?
Yeah, because they're down on Shore Road,
Yeah,
so they have 2 lots.
yeah,
They're short on frontage by 21 feet.
of both lots, or if it,
No, I guess with them combined,
with them combined, they're short?
21 feet.
All right, 21 feet.
Because I
Okay.
think what it is down there now, it's, isn't it VA? Ag, isn't it ag down there? They need 2
It's
acres, right?
rural agricultural, but those lots, this is
Whenever
Shore
this-
Road.
Yeah.
They were never designed that way back when they were.
They predated zoning
Right.
Yeah.
originally.
Right,
So they were
pre-existing.
50
And-
feet by 100 feet,
Yeah.
I
Right.
think.
Oh,
And they're gonna be short big time on the square footage.
Right.
That's where they're short. They only got,
3 short roads.
they have, they're short 46,000 and a little bit more than 46,000 square feet.
How big's the lot
They're
now?
43,596 instead of 90.
But they don't,
But it's all the
Pre-existing.
thing is, it's
it's pre-existing.
predated
Yeah.
zoning, so it isn't something that you
There's,
can kind of
there's 2
control.
lots that they could build on, so neither one of them conform to today's
Right,
rules and
that's
regs.
correct. So they
And
bought
it-
2 to make them more conforming than.
More,
just
they're not
having
making
more.
anything less conforming, they're
Right.
making it more conforming.
And that's usually the approach that they take.
Yeah.
Do these have existing buildings on them, Mike, or are they
That's what
vacant?
I'm looking right now to see what
I don't,
is or is not there.
that's the side going towards Rhode Island, right?
Is this Parker or Tessino you got?
He's got parking.
I got.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
I don't think so. I think it's,
that
isn't it
the
up
one?
there?
No, they're
They back
in the
up,
middle here.
they back up to the lake.
Yeah. They kind of, it's not a real good shot. And then get this big circle in here.
Where's, this is Birch Hill Road? This is Birch Hill.
There's just numbers, so there's nothing getting down.
Let's do this one. Supposed to do a new house?
Or is this one, down here's one, is that one?
That's the lake, right?
Yeah, so if you want to look one of the
Court case,
Down in there over here.
No, I see it circled up there.
This is between him and,
Well, this is the house he built, and this is the teacher.
49 and 50.
Oh, Jesus, I don't want to touch this. What's the say
Shore
on it?
Road.
I mean, isn't it,
he's going back to
It's kind of a lousy.
the ZBA.
but so,
That's all right there.
right, but it's,
Oh, this,
Oh, here.
which is
Oh,
this?
that's
the
something.
zoning, well, it's a zoning,
Sure.
this is a, he asked for
Let
variance
me
on
put
this.
that on the map again for you.
Yeah, 'cause you
I can
didn't
pick
plow
this
down.
Fill this out.
Oh,
Is this, no, he's not asking for, well, it's not a use variance. See attached, this is the property.
284-50, 284.
See attached, it's grabbing the enforcement.
Gotta be in the
He's talking about this
middle.
sheet here. Seeking a variance from dimensional setback requirements of the zoning bylaw from front and side setback. The existing building has front setback at 22.9, side setbacks at 13.4, and A2. The applicant is seeking a variance for 27.1 feet
This
for the
is
front
state line.
setback.
This is the state line, this is Rhode
So
Island.
meaning adding up to 50
Yeah, right along
feet,
here, yeah.
right?
So,
Yeah,
Because,
well, where's it's right in there from back.
No,
when
but this is
all
Wallen
those
Lake,
lots
that's
were
oh, it's
built.
over here, right here, 22.9. So he's pretty much trying to make this approved now.
Yeah.
I mean, so it becomes
I know.
standard.
right, right. I think the frontage issue is the paramount issue. I mean, granted, you have all these setback issues.
Was there a house
But
there
the-
prior?
No,
This is the one where he was given a,
building
Building
permit
permit without-
the house, and
I understood, I don't
and then
know.
after the appeal period, the abutter appealed.
So how can it be, is it, I don't understand, is it out of appeal, is it out of court, this whole thing?
I don't know the status of
I
it.
mean, how can we,
I don't know.
we're confused.
You have to act on this as a standalone application, hate to say.
Well, it's obviously down here where, this is on Shore Road and everything is tiny. I mean, all these houses are,
What's he asking for?
so he's asking for 22.9 feet from the front setback. And he has it's a 47.5 foot frontage. Oh, so, but that's what a lot of these lots are down there, they predated.
Yeah, they're all like that. They're all like
Yeah.
50.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
Feet wide,
we
what
gotta
do you
make
say,
this thing
100
right.
feet deep?
I mean, the fact is that they're all like that.
yeah, yeah.
I think they should just be done with this and approve it and, you know, just be done with this after all this time. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is legal stuff. But as far as what I believe the zoning should be, relative to the zoning, I mean, to what is there. They used to take an average of the front setbacks, and that's what we use in other towns, and
Yeah.
it seems rational to me to,
Keep it in line with the rest.
yeah, I mean, is that how the board, I mean, you guys feel about that? I'm
I
asking
feel
you.
that
I do too.
none of those lots down there conform to anything.
Anything.
So they're all pre-existing, non-conforming lots.
It's sort of
And
like
if some-
changing
is
things
this an,
midstream, you
is
know?
this, they're asking for a lot frontage exemption, is that what they're asking?
Okay,
No, 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 no.
A setback exemption.
Variance, this is a variance
Oh, variance.
request for the width of the frontage.
And
This zoning
setback.
district has 200-foot requirement.
Right.
This is Wallem Lake,
Yeah.
which the typical dwelling
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
is
Okay, I have-
50 feet.
Right.
This is 48, 47 and a half, something like
I
that.
don't have a problem with it, okay.
It's almost 50.
I don't either.
And on this one here, just so everyone knows.
And then the building has some setback constraints from the front yard and side yard area.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But that's typical
They all do.
50-foot lot. And what do you have there? You have this
I'm listening to you guys, because I think I know what that house is, but I don't know what the hell this is.
Yours is the same
It's the same
property.
property.
Yours is a special permit, his is a variance, I believe.
And what is his
Different
asking
address.
for?
Somebody's 42 Shore Road.
Oh, you must have Parker, no?
No, you don't, no, you're not looking at Parker.
No, you have 103.
I have Parker.
No, you have,
You're looking at the,
Yeah.
he's looking at the variance, you're looking at the special permit. They're both 103 Shore Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
but it's not, okay.
So what's
As
he
I said, I
What's he
have,
asking for?
I don't, Parker.
No, you're not Parker, you're to
I know that, but is 103 Shore Road the one that, right on the water, and it backs up, the back of it is right on the lake? And it's like all, that whole stretch of,
Right, that's the house that's already existing, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one that was built
yeah.
10, 8,
Yeah, that's the one, that's the one.
I mean, I think, it seems to me they ought to be treated all alike. I mean, if all the other ones are okay and they got their variances, why should,
Or predated,
Yeah, they're
or whatever.
they're all,
Yeah.
they're all, yeah, pre-existing.
I mean, zonings are created based on what the the preceding build-out was,
Right.
you know, and if you have an urban context, that's different. If you have a little 50-foot frontage lots, that should be consistent
Should
through
be
there.
consistent with the other
Right.
lots that are available down there, I agree.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's on the variance here, so everybody knows,
Oh, yeah, tell
at
them.
present, these lots, they claim are vacant and open land,
Yeah, I don't,
all right?
that's the other side.
There's only two things that they don't meet. Their structure height is gonna be fine, you're allowed 35, they're gonna be 23. The rear yard setback requirement is 25 feet, they're gonna be 221 feet. Their side yard setback required is 25, they're gonna be 28. Their front yard setback required is 50, they're gonna be 106.
What are they asking?
So the only two things they're short on is road frontage, which is supposed to be 200. They're gonna be 179.33. And overall square footage. Now, the new zoning is 90,000 square feet. They're only gonna be 43,596.
Right, but you said traditionally in that area, it's 100-foot frontage. which I think-
50,
50 feet.
I think 50, but they
Yeah.
managed to get
Yeah, I have
almost
no, I have no
200.
problem with
No,
that.
that's-
So those are the only
Yeah, I got
two
no
little
problem with that
things
either. I would
That's
sign.
gonna be different.
No, I mean,
Everybody okay with that one?
I'm
Sure.
okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that one.
Okay.
I'm okay with yours, but I can't make heads or tails of mine. Same property.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And overall.
One's a variance and
But all
one's
the lots are
a,
small.
Yeah, special permits, but nowhere do they say what?
No.
This is just a
gotta have
recommendation.
a, you gotta have a
Recommendation.
place.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
Said see,
You can
see
say not it.
attached.
You can write that, not it.
It doesn't say anything either. There's gotta be something else that goes with this.
Well, they attached this. No, just, I mean, what?
This is a pre-existing non-conforming lot created prior to.
So all they want is this?
So we have
Oh, no,
no-
they need the whole thing back.
We have no
Yeah, just
objection.
put the whole thing back in the packet.
I think over to the building
The
permit.
lot has 47.5 feet of frontage along Shore Road.
And I'm not doing this because it just makes sense.
The lot is situated on this plan.
Oh, yeah.
Those lots were developed, what, in the 70s?
50s,
Building
50s?
permit being applied
late
here.
50s.
Way before there was,
Yeah,
those are some of cabin lots.
it's the first, it's like the first subdivision on the record
Yeah, for a special
in the
permit.
district.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
So it says the lot does
Now,
not
my
meet the
street
current
I'm on
zoning
was
for
from
the
the
frontage.
30s.
The concept that a whole
Frontage and area, therefore a
place up
special
there
permit is
was-
needed.
Scandinavian.
It doesn't have,
Just cottage
according to
is when
today's
you-
zoning
somebody
bylaw, it doesn't have
drives by
enough square
I
feet.
understand
A
that,
few
and they're
families
getting the
bought
variance
Over the years.
to address that.
And
They
they
also
also
need
to
a
live in them.
special
also a,
permit.
Yeah.
you know, after
lot of
Charles
problems.
III,
Septic
they named it after
system.
him because he had just done the streets code.
That was always a problem.
What is the name of this
It was like
permit?
Ellsberg and
How'd you
Johansson.
learn that?
Well, through the history of it, you know, and from, somebody is the descendant, a great-grandchild of the founders of that street. Yeah.
Is there anything in your house you would have done differently now that you've been there for a while?
And have you seen my house? Have you been inside?
When you were building it, I was out there.
This is all there is, right?
Whatever.
Well,
Is this in the front page?
this,
Or you got it?
this is the pack, yeah.
Yeah, and you got the
It's coming
map.
after work or something.
Okay.
Is there anything I would do? We look back,
The page,
there's
yeah.
nothing.
Okay, nothing there, that's the plan, yeah,
Spectacular.
okay.
It just fits so right.
Nice.
What have we done is
It's gotta say somewhere, why did he get special permit?
a little buffer
No, no,
close.
no.
Huh? Where was it on yours?
Mine was variance.
Fine.
Yeah, but where was it asking for the variance?
It's right on the front page. Your
Yeah,
cover
but also
sheet.
says.
No, I was
Yeah,
just
but it doesn't
curious,
say what
because
they're asking
there's
for.
always that
Special
stupid little
permit, but it
thing that
doesn't say
you're
what
like,
the
oh, wish
special
I
permit is.
Done that differently.
What did
I
it
was
say?
very
Like,
impressed with
where did it say where your variance was?
IT wiring.
Oh,
You had
yeah, yeah.
What page was it asking?
banks.
What was it asking for
that go
specifically?
to
Here,
residential
give it me, 1, 2.
It's, and then we built subsequently the
See
garage.
attached. We could go home and go back.
I have a workshop under my garage, using heavy timber and planks.
Oh, yeah.
And, wooden planks.
Yeah, yeah.
Here.
3 1/4.
Special permit criteria.
So it's great. Stairway. And, I got the variance from, the relief from conservation.
All it is, it says on this page, see here, it says variance
I had to
appeal,
build a retaining.
and then why it's a variance appeal.
We don't have that.
Street.
You don't have a special permit?
Together,
Basically, I call it.
Bill might know, why not?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
To capture the water from the runoff, so they want that. And it's a good
You just
wall.
have letters and
1
not
foot
a
double
page filled out.
concrete wall.
Why, the hardship and all that is all explained
We don't have any of that.
on this page.
Only this much. It's above the grade. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
What special, 103 Shore Road, okay, so.
A special permit, what specifically are
They
they asking?
applied for a variance, but they're also applying for a special permit. We cannot find any, what special permit? Where are they writing?
Is there a narrative, though? There should be.
Usually there's a letter
Yeah,
from, like we have. Larry.
I had a narrative.
I did too, why, how come hardship?
Oh, you know why? They might be covering both. Sometimes when we go before boards, this board, as an architect, special permit and variance.
Covers both?
It covers both in case when you get there, the board considers it. It's the exact same verbiage. Is that it?
Okay, the lot does not meet the current zoning for frontage and area, therefore a special permit is needed.
Is that true?
Yeah, and that's, yours is for
This is
what?
for the variance.
Mine is for
I mean, you already addressed
setbacks.
it in the
Okay,
variance.
That's, but this is different from a variance.
I know it is.
A special
So they
permit is
need
required for
both,
that.
in other words, okay? So theoretically, if
You
you
prove
like
one.
one, you should be okay with the
Yeah,
other.
you should be okay.
So you should be able to stamp it, good.
It'd be nice to know what the hell the special permit was called, number one. And this,
Well, it looks like it's a special permit for frontage
Right.
and, what did they say, frontage and area?
to build a structure on the lot,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
which,
The structure
already
that's
there.
already there,
He's
yes.
trying to make.
Yeah, but
I think
that's,
this is just, like,
It's, it's probably a legal avenue to
Yes.
pursue, who knows?
Clean it up.
trying to make everything
Clean it up.
kosher.
Right,
yeah,
right.
these two are all set?
Yes, sir.
I would say take the history out of it, look at it as a
Yeah, it
standalone.
just makes sense.
And we
Does it
already
make sense?
disapproved the variance.
Yes.
So the variance and that pretty much gotta go.
Right.
They're pretty
So
much
I
go
don't see any problem with it.
We said we didn't have any objection.
There you go. We're with you.
So you
Yeah,
can,
Okay.
yeah, special permit, yeah.
yeah, but you
Check that.
checked off.
Oh, we got minutes to
Oh,
do.
you, right, yeah, check off special permit.
No,
Yeah,
we're variance.
yeah, we're variance, yeah.
That's why that's done.
Southwest Main
And
Street.
sign it on the
You just sign it
sincerity.
on the bottom, and we're good to go.
On the-
All right, that takes care of those three, bang, bang,
Yes, sir.
bang. Signed vouchers, we
Yeah, I
have
think-
none. Meeting minutes.
I'm kind of trying to catch up and make everything kosher.
Good luck.
Good luck.
No, not much longer.
Okay, you wanna do
They don't have
meeting
to
minutes?
listen to us.
Oh,
Why,
I
Here we
thought it
go.
was for a house sale.
What do you want, minutes?
Yeah,
Minutes,
go
baby.
right ahead, Mike.
January 9th, January 23rd, and February 13th.
Should have it.
This is the third version of this.
Yep,
So I'm okay with it. Everything we caught earlier has been corrected. They
corrected,
put
yeah, okay.
The value in there for the partial release and all that.
39,276.05, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
On the money.
all right, so
unless other people,
anybody else have any objection to meeting minutes for January 9th as revised in draft 3?
Mike looked at them, it's awesome.
Not a problem.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we approve the meeting minutes as written for January 9th, 2018.
Second.
Draft 3?
Draft
Second,
three.
anybody second that?
Second.
Okay, made by Mike G, seconded by Aaron. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. Okay, meeting minutes, January 23rd.
Bear with me, I know this is dumb, but sometimes when we record votes, there's X yays and Y
Yeah.
nays or whatever.
Yeah,
And sometimes we have 7 people voting and sometimes we have 6 people voting.
right.
So I just happened to look at the 703 A and R plan,
Yeah.
the last sentence, and it said I-5. Now, someone was missing, so there were only 6 people here. So that means
Absent was Ken Baloo, so
we're down to 6, but you may not have voted on it.
yeah, and
Oh,
as
Tracy
chairman, I don't have to vote.
It was late.
Tracy came in late.
It's after it. Tracy came in after, that's why I
Tracy
saw it.
came in late.
7:08.
She came in after that.
I don't know if she voted on it or not, so.
Well, that would make
I don't
5.
think so. She wasn't here then, I don't think.
Right, so
So
that's
that would have
5.
been me voting yes, then if we had 5.
Okay, so
That's fine.
we don't have to say no.
No, we
nays.
don't have to, if there's a nay, you say it, if it's a, you don't, yeah.
Especially if you're a naysayer.
For the most part, Mike, I don't even have to vote unless it's a tiebreaker.
Right.
Pardon? Yeah, okay, but I don't even have to vote unless it's a
That was kind of what I was getting at, because
Right.
sometimes the numbers add up to 7.
Right.
But usually they add up to 6.
How's the rest of it look, Mike?
I didn't see anything else wrong with it.
Awesome. So move.
I'll abstain,
Anybody?
because I wasn't here.
Yeah, you'll abstain. Okay. All right, so somebody make the motion?
Move to approve the meeting minutes for Tuesday, January 23rd, 2018, as written.
Second?
Okay, motion made by Mike G, seconded by Mike Z. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain? 1, Ken? There'll be an absent at the time. Okay,
February 13th is.
February 13th.
Remember, we have one less guy here, one less
Okay, so we'll
person on the board.
ignore all my questions about the votes, because now I understand.
There was only 6, right?
7:02, public hearing, Town of Douglas Plan, second paragraph, last sentence, talk about the zoning, this is about modifying the zoning
Fines.
bylaw and whatnot. Anyway, that sentence says $300 per violation, but back at the meeting minutes, it was $300 per day per violation, so which is it?
It said earlier in the paragraph of that section, it talked about each one being a separate occurrence, is my recollection. So
Yes.
it, even though it didn't say per violation per day, it covered it in the earlier sentence.
That's, I think that's part of another night's meeting minutes, not these. It's, here,
Typo incorrect.
it's,
See what, $300
Yep, no, no.
slash.
It's
I
proposed.
think that's correct.
Hey, Mike, is this spelled right?
That is correct.
$300.
The edit
Incorrect.
added the $300 per day, or whatever it says there.
Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be an E on it, I guess.
yeah, back on January 9th, it was per day,
Correct.
per violation.
Well, each day is a violation.
No,
And a violation
I'm
could
just saying, guys, we ought to be consistent if we're,
it covers it. I'll go get the zoning bylaw.
No, there's no E on that. Incorrect does not have an E.
It doesn't, huh?
No, it doesn't
Okay.
look right, but it's.
Yeah, I know, I would think it would have an E on it.
Okay, anything else, Mike?
he's gonna get something.
Yeah, he's gonna go through that, yeah. You have anything else that, in between that?
Yeah, what it
Yeah,
is,
see, back on January,
the word day was just
What section is
added.
that, Mike?
pardon?
What section?
This is what he's talking about, Bill, I can show you.
Page 9, paragraph
See
2.3.
right here? $200 slash day slash violation.
Yeah,
On this one here, it
yeah,
says.
I know. I will clear it up in just a second. If I can find it, 913. Okay.
Here, I will, so we added a sentence to the existing bylaw, okay? Let me read the existing bylaw. The penalty for violation, blah, 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 blah. Each day that each violation continues shall constitute a separate offense. And then we added that sentence, without each day. So
Need it, okay.
it doesn't need the per day because of that preceding sentence that was already in the bylaw.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. This is confusing when you look back at the January 9th, the day was in there, but it's, we're talking about the same bylaw, but it's just how you express.
So after we
what
had
you're
that
talking
initial
about.
discussion, you
Yeah.
asked me to talk to town council, I did. The town council said we're covered because of that sentence.
Yes.
Right.
So every day is a violation. It says
Yes.
violation, so it's
Yes.
already,
So it is $300 per day per violation.
we could add.
It's redundant, yeah.
But in terms of the minutes, we can leave it as.
As is.
As is.
So what say you, Mike?
So that was the only thing I had.
That's the only thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything?
Wow. How easy.
I'll move the minutes of February 13th.
Be accepted as read, as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made by Ken, seconded by Mike Z. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, items unanticipated.
We got one more.
March 6th.
Yeah, maybe have March 6th in
how many?
October.
March
Our last
6th.
meeting, yeah.
March 6th. Oh, okay, yeah.
And I was not present at this meeting. I looked at the minutes, but
Right,
I
March
wasn't
6th,
there.
okay, Yep,
But
go for it.
but I didn't see anything wrong, but
It's okay.
maybe you guys who were actually there would.
If you didn't find anything, I don't think anybody can.
So then I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of March 6, 2018 as written.
Second.
Motion made by Mike Z, seconded by Mike G. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Very good, thank
Getting
you.
better and better.
All right. Anything that, open session for topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance of the meeting. Bill?
I did speak with CMRPC today. They will be getting us a revised proposal that spans the 2 years so that they can help us with our zoning map.
Sweet. Awesome.
Very good.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Mike
Ken.
Z, seconded by Ken. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, the motion carries, we are adjourned.